another week of SFHS Today. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Kevin. Last Friday, the reading world lost the author of the American classic book To Kill a Mockingbird. Harper Lee died on February 19th.
Harper Lee's book, To Kill a Mockingbird, has, I guess, influenced me more now that I've taught it this year. It's kind of fun to see their reactions. We talked a little bit about the Scottsboro boys beforehand, which if you don't know anything about, come talk to me. I know all about it. But it's kind of fun to see them make the connections in history to the text and see we've gotten really fired up. We acted out the court case. The kids absolutely love talking about the court case.
I thought it was kind of a good book. I think a lot of people underappreciate the actual message of it because we don't really like to think about just like the racism that happened and everything, and how just because it got like the laws were passed that it's still like, oh, since the laws were passed it stopped happening, when in reality just because laws got passed people kept their morals.
Harper Lee passed away during my class period. We were teaching it and we were reading a couple of the chapters, and so to see the kids freak out and get all concerned that it happened during that time and they couldn't believe that that historic person and the author of our book died.
It's kind of sad that the world lost like kind of historical figure in that way.
It hit them and it actually really bothered them. They got kind of sad about it, so we talked about it for a little while, and it's fun to see that it continues to impact them as we are wrapping up our text now.
No, I think To Kill a Mockingbird had a really good message behind it if people actually take the time to look into it and actually appreciate why it was written. When I saw that she died, it'd been a long time since I'd read the book. I forgot who she was, but when I kind of like put it together, I'm like, well, that's kind of sad because, you know, that's a really big book. It represents a really big monumental time in history between the transitioning of Black people getting their rights and everything and being treated like crap.
Back to local news. A Little Wellness opened Friday, January 29th. They are located where Bridge Street Coffee used to be. They also happen to be a sponsor of this week's shows. Casey and Sade went out to get the scoop about this healthy new addition to the community.
Right.
Protein shakes and meal replacements.
Why do you choose those?
To give you the nutrients that you need for your body to have healthy cells, and also the protein to keep you full and keep your muscles.
How is business going so far with a McDonald's and a Checkers right around the corners?
Business is great. I'm really busy in the morning. I open at 6 a.m. and I'm pretty busy from 6 a.m. till about 10, and then I get a little bit of lull. And then I close at 12:30 to 2:15, and I go work out at Anytime Fitness and run my errands, and then I come back from 2:15 to 6 o'clock. And it seems to be pretty busy after school for kids coming in, and then also after the sports and activities as well.
What are some of the popular flavors for the shakes and teas?
Shakes are probably the Oreo Blast, the Puppy Chow, Strawberry Banana. And for the teas, I would say Pomegranate, Arnie, and Raspberry Peach are very common.
Were there any challenges opening up this business so far?
Yes. With the Department of Agriculture, I had to submit an application. It took 30 days for them to review. About 3 days before I was going to open, they told me that the floor was not acceptable because I didn't have the correct amount of, I would say they call it like a grit sand underneath, but I wouldn't know that unless I actually cut out the floor. I wanted to have a nutritional place for kids to come and get a meal versus just McDonald's or Checkers, something nutritional in the community.
Last week, Knowledge Bowl had two meetings that determined who will be going to regions and states. For the first time in SFHS history, the senior team of Joe Blum, Mike Madsen, Mike Odell, Connor Keach, and Dan Ulrich placed first in the round-robin meet and got a bye to regions. They also placed fourth out of 61 teams. They will be competing in the regions meet on March 3rd.
The junior team of Connor Sullivan, Shelby Roaring, Natalie Buteau, Alex Sweeney, and Blake Sipperly also moved on to the sub-region meet that was held on Tuesday. Sophia went out to help us get more knowledge about Knowledge Bowl.
Well, this is my first year coaching Knowledge Bowl, and to my knowledge, Knowledge Bowl has been at St. Francis High School for 20 years. And I found out last Wednesday when we had our final round robin that we got a bye, and it was our first time ever. I have to admit, I was pretty darn excited, especially being a first-year coach. I wasn't necessarily expecting that, and it was pretty cool to see all the kids' faces and how proud the entire team was.
Miss Heitzman, our wonderful coach, Miss Heitzman, bought us a program for the computer called Knowledge Master Open. That is pretty much like one of those quiz up games or whatever on the phone, except like it's got 5 answers per question. You get it right or you don't. And
I think what Mike means today is we're studying. We're studying. How about that?
We're
knowledge
studying.
full questions.
We're processing questions.
Pretty much
Yeah.
just doing random trivia.
So what happens is there are 3 round robins, and the round robins are cumulative. Teams go to sub-regions, and the top 15 teams from another section come together, so there's 30. The top 10% of those 30 teams automatically get a bye to regionals, and then the rest of the 20 teams, they get to go to sub-regionals. So we have a team who plays 13th who's going to sub-regionals, and we have a team who plays 10th who got the bye to regionals.
We would
What
enjoy
do you
getting
guys
a
want out of
trophy.
it?
Personal improvement and
Beating chess.
being a good team player to all of the other teams.
And regions are on the last day of the trimester, which is March 3rd.
We're very excited.
We are very excited.
I am
Just
very
like last
excited.
year.
I am very excited to beat Sharp.
How do you think you guys will place this year?
Pretty good. Slightly better than
The bottom 10%, but not last.
I think we can do pretty well, Joe.
Yeah,
Maybe the middle of the bracket.
Wish us luck.
Last Saturday, Speech traveled to Brainerd. Here are some more on how the season is going.
Season is going great. Every single meet that we have, the students are getting better and better. We're breaking more and more people into finals. It's very fun to watch.
At Denfeld Duluth, I got an honorable mention. It's been a really good season. I've gotten a few honorable mentions, and at this last meet, I actually finaled.
My students are incredible. If it wasn't for the students, the captains, they are, being a head coach can be very frightening because there's lots and lots of things to do. But my assistant and like I said, the students have made it very easy to be a head coach.
I try to practice at least 2 or 3 times a week, and right before the meets, I warm up. To prepare, we usually do warm-ups at the high school or on the bus, and we practice at least once a week.
Congratulations to the students. They've worked very, very hard. They're awesome, and I cannot wait to see them at state.
If you're thinking about joining speech this year or next year, you definitely should. It's really fun.
Also, last Saturday, Mike Starr, a substitute teacher in the school district, did the polar plunge into Lake Superior in Duluth. He has been doing this for 17 years for Special Olympics. This dedication and support has put him on the 5 Minutes of Fame spotlight.
Student celebrities everywhere, this is why you should care about 5 Minutes of Fame.
Well, the Polar Bear Plunge, it's called the Minnesota Polar Bear Plunge for Special Olympics. And this is something that's been going on for approximately 18, 19 years in Minnesota. This is my 17th year of plunging for Minnesota Special Olympics. We started back in 1998, plunging to raise funds to support Minnesota Special Olympics in the summertime with their track and field events, or other events they may do throughout the year for Special Olympics. You can go in your swimsuits, and a lot of people do it that way, but when you have a costume, it just adds to the fun and excitement to get ready for it. We have been dressed up like the Hogettes. We've done Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. We have done Tonto and Silver the Horse and the Lone Ranger. We've done every kind of outfit you just about think of. Now this year it's going to be Kiss. This year we're going to go back up to Duluth and jump in Duluth. And there's about 1,000 plungers that will show up for it. And we'll raise approximately 145, 150,000 in that one day. I have a niece that's in Special Olympics, and of course been a sub teacher in the school district as a sub teacher for kids in special education. And it's just a way, I've been involved with it since day one, way back in North Dakota. We ran the flag across the state of North Dakota for Special Olympics. So I've been involved with this thing for many, many, many years, even before I started doing polar bear plunges. We've been involved, just help raise and support Special Olympics. There's approximately 20 polar bear plungers across Minnesota. It's all money stays in Minnesota. All the money we raise stays right here in the state. And it's all here to support our local Special Olympics and all the activities that the kids do or adults do throughout the year. And that's why it's so important to support Special Olympics. The money stays home with us right here in Minnesota. And that's what makes it fun, to raise money for our people here at home.
On Wednesday, SFHS hosted a regional band contest. Our very own Wind Assembled competed along with bands from 8 other schools.
Attention all seniors. All local scholarships are due today in the counseling office. No late applications will be accepted.
Staying in the Career Center for news, there are a couple of college reps coming to the school soon. The University of Minnesota Rochester will be here March 11 during second hour. Minnesota State University Mankato will also be here March 11 during third hour. To sign up for these visits, go to the Career Center to get a pass. Also, check up there for when other colleges will be visiting.
Hey Kevin, have you decided what you're going to do after senior year?
Let's see. Well, I'm going to go audition for different dance clubs and do some YouTubing.
Wow, that's awesome. Hannah went out to get more information about where each grade should be in planning for post-secondary options.
What are your thoughts on all the AP classes?
I think that it's nice to have another option to earn some college credit, and just like businesses or other people who have a product to sell, I think schools need to be able to offer opportunities for kids that are in different places in their lives.
We are really excited about the new AP classes. It is an opportunity to take those top-level students that are really academically motivated and present them with a curriculum that is very challenging, that will also help them prepare for advanced studies beyond high school.
And how do these classes compare to college classes?
As I see it, for me, I think the college and the schools classes would be a really good capstone kind of option for seniors that take it. And I think that the AP classes are also rigorous and challenging, but it's not uncommon for AP Lang to be taught in 10th grade. And I think that's the class that I'm developing, and I expect to possibly be teaching it next year. So I think of the AP classes as rigorous, but also as a way of getting your feet under you before you take college and the schools classes.
That's an excellent question. It really depends upon the teacher and the comparison to the college class. For instance, next year, so 2016-17, they're going to offer college biology. The following year, we were hoping to add AP biology. Right now, the interest in that is not as strong as we would like. We may still add that, we'll see. But with respect to those two classes, the AP biology class would be considered more rigorous than the college biology class. And that's surprising to a lot of people, but the thought there is if you take the college biology class, you get a college credit, and that would be you get a biology credit for it, but that's a non-biology major class.
Do you have any tips for taking these classes?
I think the biggest tip that I have would be to sign up for it.
Be prepared for, I don't want to scare people off, but be prepared for an extremely high level of academic rigor.
On Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., SFHS will be having a multicultural festival. There will be presentations, music, dance, fashion shows, food, games, and demonstrations. I went out to get some information to share with you.
Hi there, Saints. My name is Keith Kogo, and I'm here to bring you forth a message of the Multicultural Festival. This Multicultural Festival will be going on the 27th of February, and it will include many ethnic background groups such as the Hmong, Chinese, African American, African, and also Russian, including many others that will be performing in dancing, fashion shows, and also what my performance would be drumming. And in this case, we've been practicing for over a week and a half now, and we have worked very assiduously to maintain this beat, and hopefully we can see you there with a smiling face and enjoy the most fun we can bring for you on the 27th. Hopefully we can see your smiling faces, and there will be lots of food and lots of gatherings, so hopefully I can see you then. Have a good one. Karibu shule zetu wote, chakula ni ya kila mtu.
Welcome. There is free food there.
Thanks, Kevin.
Don't forget that next week is finals week. On Wednesday, testing will be for hours 1, 2, and 4. Then on Thursday, testing will be for 3, 5, and 4. There will be 2-hour early release during those days.
Before we leave you this week, here's Casey with the weekend forecast and Laura and Jolie with the random question thing.
Hey Saints, welcome to weather. Snow has a deeper meaning than just atmospheric water vapor frozen into ice crystals and falling in light white flakes. As the snow begins to wither away, it signals the end of the try. This week, we have a high of 39 and a low of 30, with a scorching hot 52 and a low of 30 on Saturday. And Sunday cools down again with a high of 37 and a very chilly low of 20. Have a good week, Saints.
It's the random question thing. Ding.
What do you get when you throw a piano down a mine shaft?
What?
A flat minor.
What's the opposite of a hot dog?
What?
A cool cat.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Britney Spears. Britney Spears who? Knock, knock. Who's there? Britney Spears. Britney Spears who? Oops, I did it again.
What kind of car does Yoda drive?
I don't know what kind.
A Toyota.
What's
the world's largest mouse?
I don't know. A hippopotamus.
Did you hear about the guy whose whole left side was cut off? He's all right now.
What do you do when you break your toe?
What do you do?
Call a tow truck.
Oh.
Wasn't that a terrible joke?
Alright, I have a knock-knock joke for you to start it.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I don't know.